What is up, guys? Abyxis here, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 mid laners for the new patch 6.1. And I know I've been going for quite a while with the top 10s, but I just kind of didn't like where League was going, and I took a pretty long, about 2-month break, I believe, from the game. But I am back, and I'll be telling you my 10 favorite champions for this patch and the ones that I use. Keep in mind, like always, it's just my opinion, and if you like a champion and you're good and it's working for you, play it. But this is just for some reference if you want to see what works for me and what I like to play. So we're going to start the list right away. So, number 10 is Katarina. Talk about a fall from grace. Who used to be the number 1 pick in solo queue, but she's not as effective as she used to be. Not able to just ult and win a team fight solely on her own anymore. Basically, the timing that was required before is amplified even more than what it used to be. Now, you go in at the wrong time, you're pretty much dead, no matter what. Zanya's got nerfed on her basically because of her passive change. You don't have a lot of options other than just to reset rapidly and go as quickly as you can through the team fight. But just as effective before at the reset. If she can do it well, she will be fine, and you will win fights because she is a monster. Number 9, Fizz. Again, someone who was really overpowered early on in previous seasons, but has fallen from grace just as much as Katarina has. Used to be able to 1v5 effectively with Zanya's Hourglass, but I have not seen that as much from Fizz recently. Recently, I have only seen Fizz basically being played the way he was meant to be played, which is as an assassin. Still very strong, but normally in older games, if Fizz was ahead, 3 kills maybe in lane, unstoppable. Not as much anymore. I've seen Fizzes go 3-0 in lane, and then in the games, let's say 7-20, it's a little bit of exaggeration, but still, Fizz is not nearly as good as he used to be. Still, very effective, and still going to make my top 10 because I do enjoy playing him. I think he works pretty well. Just not as well as he used to. Number 8, we are going to go with Ziggs. I feel like he's really safe, and I feel like he's my go-to for first picking mid laners. There's only one more mid I can think of that I'd go, maybe 2, that are better for being safe and first picking, and they're farther down the list, actually number 4 and number 1, but I will talk about them when I get there. Ziggs is really good late game, and his early game is the only thing that really struggles, but I think due to the fact that mana pots are now gone, really helps Ziggs because most people that have mana problems still do, even more so because there's no mana pots, but Ziggs always had problems even with the pots, so I think it helps him, basically brings everyone down to his level when it comes to the mana issues. And his late game is just as good as it always is. It's very safe and very pokey. I do put him above Xerath because Xerath will not be on this list, spoiler alert, but I don't like Xerath as much as I like Ziggs, and most people who watch my videos do know that. Moving on to number 7, and maybe a surprise, Malzahar. I've only played him once this season so far, but I have been destroyed by him many times. I haven't laned against him specifically yet, but I've seen people get demolished by him, and I've realized that if he gets a couple kills, it's like over. He got 2 kills, and he was just 100-0 me with his ult, and there was no counterplay whatsoever. This is the thing about Malzahar. No counterplay at all. His ult, in a one-on-one scenario, ults you, you're probably dead. I mean, if he does his combos correctly and he knows what he's doing, you're probably dead in a one-on-one scenario. Not much to say about him because I don't play him personally, but I do think he is very good at the moment. One that might be controversial, though. Number 6, I'm going to put Yasuo, basically the same as he's always been. He hasn't changed too much. The patches have been kind to him, and so is the meta right now, but he still ends up being just as strong as normal because a lot of people have become strong with this meta, and he's kind of just, he's a little stronger than he used to be, but has also been left the same. It's kind of balanced out with all the nerfs he's received, and then all the buffs he's received from, like, the runes, the master, or my mistake, the masteries that we have now. So I think he's back to the state where he was really, really good. But again, if you don't know how to play him, you shouldn't. He's not overpowered to the point where if you just take him, you could face roll instantly. But still definitely a very good champion. Number 5 comes in Twisted Fate, because you kind of have to have him on every single solo queue list. He's just kind of made for solo queue. He can roll anywhere onto the map whenever he feels like it with his ult, and he can really turn a game around. Fat Twisted Fate will insta-kill a carry instantly with his stun card to Q combo. Lots of poke, lots of damage, lots of utility. Basically, the only issue he has is lane phase is pretty rough. Farming with him is kind of hard, and to be honest, knowing when to use the ult is quite difficult as well if you're not a very experienced Twisted Fate player. If you know how to play him, you should be climbing already, because, you know, obviously you've already learned that Twisted Fate's amazing for solo queue. And if you haven't learned, go ahead and try him out. I wouldn't do it in a ranked game because his difficulty is quite high. But I am going to move on to number 4 now. Another one I said, it's like Ziggs, but a little bit better in my opinion. Lux, very safe, and God, is she good right now. I played Lux the first time in like months, and I think I went 20-3. She was really, really effective. CC, utility, very safe lane phase, better lane phase than Ziggs. Not very many mana problems. Her ult is just great. If you get a snare on someone, they're pretty much dead unless they're like a very, very powerful tank. Like, obviously, you know, 6-item volley bear or 5-item volley bear. Yeah, you're not going to insta-kill them, but I mean, any carry, snare, E, ult, they're just done. And if you throw the procs in there from your passive, even more so. So, in my opinion, Lux is definitely top 5 right now. I'm putting her at number 4 because I feel like, again, there are a couple who are a little bit better. Number 3, I'm going to put Brand solely for the fact that I feel like he will be nerfed soon. He's been kind of the highlight of the recent patches, and a lot of people have been talking about him. But I don't like putting him at number 1. I know he might very well be the best mid laner for this patch, but I don't like giving you guys tips on to play champions that will be nerfed soon, because that defeats the purpose. You want someone that you could play consistently to climb. You don't want someone who'll be nerfed in the next patch and then you spent all this time learning a champion and then they're gone. If you can get Brandon a couple games, yeah, he'll sport you some good he'll be a good champion for you, but you don't want to put all your time into this guy because he will be nerfed back to normal soon. If you're someone who likes Brad, go ahead and keep playing him. He's in a great state. I'm sure you're happy with it. Number 2, I'm going to put my favorite champion in the game, Zed, because I feel like he's always consistently good. Obviously, during the tank meta, he kind of struggled, and it was kind of sad to watch him just get demolished by everybody. But back to being really good. The new buff on Thunderlord's Decree has really, really helped Zed, and I think he's back to being in a great state. And also, I just think he's just a really good champion overall now. Good for carrying. Team fights, if you're fed, are really easy. And if you're not fed, then you just do your job in the team vote, just go for the carry, and then, you know, so much outplay potential. And in lower divisions, you can really, really outplay people. And there's no end to the potential of this champion, except maybe if they have like 5 tanks, but that's rare nowadays. Now, number 1, in my opinion, my second favorite champion, but I definitely think number 1 for solo queue is Ahri. Does everything that every other champion does quite well, but fits solo queue so well. Ahri has amazing damage. She has maybe not as much raw damage as Zed, but damn near close to it. Amazing utility, safety, little to no mana problems. She basically has everything that every champion on this list has built into one character. Skill cap's a little high, but not super difficult. Easy to play, hard to master. If you learn the build path and you figure out what you're doing with her, you are going to skyrocket. Like I said, she's been nerfed in the past, but she's still definitely one of the best champions in the game right now. In my opinion, the best mid laner at the moment. Maybe not my favorite, she's my second favorite, but I think she is the best. Honorable mentions, I am going to go with Lulu. Maybe not so good for carrying, but for team comps, if you do have at least one other person you can trust in the game, definitely pretty good. If you have maybe a duo that does ADC or top, definitely one of my favorites to pick. LeBlanc also pretty decent right now, always good for carrying, but I just haven't been feeling her recently. I know she usually makes pretty high on my list because I do love LeBlanc. She was my most played champion last season, and I ended up pulling off a 20 win streak with LeBlanc, and I know that's why I will always play her, but I do think she falls probably at about number 11, Lulu probably 12, and Echo, I'd say, as my last honorable mention, probably falls at about 13, just because I feel like he's not as strong as he used to be either. Other than that, guys, I don't have much else to say. Stay tuned for the videos, and I hope you enjoyed my opinion. Remember, it's just my opinion. Don't get upset about it. And yes, I am in Silver 5 for LP. I have been gone for about 3 months, and I am losing many games. So, yeah.